Alright guys, so I posted a video a couple days ago and I showed you guys my home gym. I gave you guys a home gym tour and my back and biceps workout, and everything was good. It was a fun video to make. I liked making it until I was scrolling on my phone. I got a notification. Somebody left one of the most disgusting, nastiest comments I've ever read in my life, and it really struck a nerve. It was very offensive. It kind of disturbed me the way that people go to such lengths to put other people down. I don't know this guy. I think it's fucked up that people would go out of their way to do stuff like that to like put other people down. But I'm gonna show you guys the comment, and if you're offended easily, I advise you to look away. But I'm gonna put it on screen. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Obviously, Lucas had a lot to say. But today, I'm gonna show you guys why I don't take steroids, clear the air a little bit, and share why I don't take them and why I would never take them. And obviously no disrespect to anybody that does take steroids. I'm not your father, so I can't tell you what to do. I'm gonna show you guys the reasons why I personally don't take them. So take your notebook out, Lucas. Let's do it. So now let's begin. Why I will never take steroids. Here we go. I'm already jacked. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. I'm just kidding. But yes, this is what I look like already, and I don't think there's much of a need for me to take steroids if I'm not going to compete for Mr. Olympia. I'm not doing this to like brag, obviously. I'm just showing that you don't need steroids to become in shape, right? You don't need steroids to get jacked. I'm very grateful for the physique I have, but also I put in a lot of work. So I don't think that people should underestimate what they can do naturally. Obviously, you can't believe everything you see on social media, right? But I went through this myself and I got to experience it. And now I get to enjoy the fruits of my labor because I worked out for 8 years, almost 8 years, completely natural, and now I'm in shape. It took some time, obviously, and I didn't take any shortcuts, so now I get to enjoy this without any health defects or complications, right? My next reason, most people in gear look like shit. What I mean by this is majority of people that take steroids, you would never even know. A lot of guys at your gym probably take steroids and you wouldn't know unless they told you. The reason why this is on the list, it's not something that throws me off, but it's something that just to bring some attention to the fact that a lot of people will take steroids thinking that it's a kind of miracle drug. And yeah, it'll make you more muscular, it'll make you bigger, but if you look like shit already, it's just gonna make you look like even bigger shit. The point is, if you take care of yourself, you know, you eat right, you train hard, you sleep well, you have no reason to take steroids unless you really wanted to hop on stage and compete. But I just think that it's hurting yourself for no reason. You go to the gym to get in shape, you get healthy, not to do the opposite. It just causes more risk than it needs to be. But I will say though, genetics are also very important. And if your genetics don't look good, if you have shit genetics, steroids aren't going to save that, and it's important to know that. Obviously, you can work with what you have, but not everybody's cut out to be Mr. Olympia, of course. You know, otherwise, everybody would look like Chris Bumstead. Speaking of genetics, here's me at 4 years old. Obviously, I never touched a weight here in my life. I had abs, cap delts, almost fucking my chest was popping already, and I never touched a weight in my life. And I'm not doing this to show you guys and like flex on you my 4-year-old physique, but you look at someone's past and what they look like before they ever exercised in their life, you can see kind of where their physique would stand if they actually did introduce some weightlifting, right? And so here you can see that I was pretty muscular as a child. It's safe to assume that if I worked out, I would get pretty muscular. You know, it's not so far-fetched to believe that I am natural. Here's me at 13 years old, 14 years old, still never worked out before. I had a freaking six-pack before I even worked out. Nothing too impressive here, of course, but like it's just showing, again, the potential. Never worked out before, but I still had pecs. I still had abs. Here's me 14 years old, 15 years old, and I still had the shape. Like I still had like the V-taper and stuff before ever actually exercising. Obviously, I'm not blasting gear at this age. Moving on. Health risks. There are a lot of health risks that come with taking steroids, including heart problems, high blood pressure, psychological problems, small balls, acne, early balding. These are all things you want to avoid. Nobody wants any of these things, but by taking steroids, you increase your risk of getting these things. I had acne as a kid, and if I took steroids, I'm afraid that I would break out really bad. So that's something I definitely want to avoid. But other than that, you get like roid rage, insomnia, high ego. Everybody that takes steroids always talks about how they feel like they're a god. Nobody wants to be around that. You know, nobody wants to be around people that feel that way. Insomnia, also when you take steroids, you have a hard time sleeping, I heard. Not everybody, but like some people do. Like nightmares and shit, or night terrors. Roid rage, it's a big one. Small balls comes from when you take testosterone and your body stops producing it naturally. Your body doesn't need your balls anymore, so then it decides to shrink them. And I don't know anybody that wants their balls to be shrunk, but if you're one of those guys, go ahead and take some steroids. You'll have that, no problem. Oh, I forgot I put that picture there, I'm not gonna lie. Makes you age faster. So this is also a big one. This is Larry Wheels, and he posted these pictures himself on his Instagram page. So the left is actually him older. This is him when he lowered his dosage, and this is him when he had a higher dosage, right? So he looks older on the right, but he's actually older on the left. So it's interesting how steroids can make you look like you age a lot. He looks way healthier. You know, his body's not crying out for help in this photo as it does in this photo. Your body shows whenever it has problems through your skin, through your bodily functions, I guess. So if it has any problems, it's gonna show. And like by aging this much, clearly something's not right. Next reason, convenience and dependence. It is way more convenient to be natural. Like if I travel somewhere, if I go to another country, I won't have to worry about where to find steroids. I need to go see the doctor. I need to go get a blood test. You know what I mean? Like I just think it's way easier. I just have to show up to the gym, work out, and eat some food, go to sleep. All you have to do if you're natural. It does not get simpler than that. But you add some steps if you take steroids. You need to go see doctors. You need to go get blood tests. You need to know where to find quality steroids so you're not injecting poison into your body. And let's take it a step further. Let's say there's a zombie apocalypse. Let's say there's a fucking nuclear war. Something bad happens and the whole world shuts down. Remember quarantine? Remember during COVID? Yeah, something like that. If something like that happens, where are you gonna find your steroids? All the labs shut down, doctors are in hibernation. What do? You can't just find steroids on the street, you know? So then all that hard work is gone and your body's now in withdrawal mode because you don't have steroids to keep it up. Your body becomes dependent on it. Those muscles you have that you built off the steroids, they're gonna fucking disappear. So I just think it's way easier to just not take them. Woohoo! Yeah, smart move. Next step, I want to have children one day. So this is a big one for me, and I really want to have kids. I don't think it's a smart idea for me to take them until after I have kids at least. Taking steroids can make having kids more difficult. If I want to have kids, I don't want it to be difficult. It might be a cause of liver cancer in children, which this is a big one for me because possibly has effects on my kids and on the quality of my sperm. Like why would I take steroids then? You know, if I could possibly cause damage to my kids, I think that's the most selfish thing in the world. If you're going to take steroids, I personally recommend you take them after you have kids. And I want to set a good example for my kids. If I'm taking drugs, it's not really setting the greatest example for my children. But if I show them that you can get in shape and you can get what you want without shortcuts, even if it takes longer, it does end up better in the long run. I think that is a good way to set an example for my children. Here's the link of the article. All right. Next up, the only possible exception to taking steroids for me. Age. So when I'm 50 or 60 years old and my pool noodle stops working and I can't use it on my wife, I would take testosterone. And that's not because I'm stepping on stage and I want to build muscle. It's because I just want to feel like a man again. Something that a lot of people do, actually. A lot of older gentlemen take testosterone so that they could feel young again. Nothing wrong with that. But the problem lies when people abuse steroids and they abuse exogenous hormones. And I personally think that there's no point of doing that unless you're hopping on stage. But to each their own. If you decide to take testosterone or you decide to take steroids, be smart about it. I'm not going to judge you. I don't give a shit what you do. Anybody that does take steroids, do whatever you like, but I'm just giving these reasons to tell you why I do not take them. That kind of wraps up the video. Let me open up this article real quick before I end things. Oh shit, forgot to close that. Father's use of anabolic steroids, why the fuck, anyway, can be considered as one of the possible risk factors for HB in their children. Of course, this is a theory and needs further evaluation to be conclusive. However, warning against not taking such drugs and compounds is important for both mother and father. So here's the complete article. This is like, it's just a study. Nothing's like conclusive, I guess. Like it's not like complete fact if it causes liver cancer in children. But if there's a risk, I'm deciding not to do it. I'm not gonna take that risk when it comes to my children's lives. If it comes with my life, that's a different story, but it's not, so yeah. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like. And Lucas, hope you're watching this. Next time, maybe don't leave such a mean comment. But everybody, thank you for watching and peace.